Nobody cares. Let that settle in. Not your neighbor, not your friends, not the people who follow you online, not even the people who say they believe in you. When the alarm goes off at 5 in the morning, nobody cares if you get up. When the work is hard and the progress is slow, nobody cares if you push through. When the dream feels too big and the path feels too long, nobody cares if you keep going. Nobody is coming. No one is going to knock on your door and tell you that today is the day. No one is going to hand you the discipline you need. No one is going to wake you up early. No one is going to force you to read the books. No one is going to make you do the work. That responsibility belongs to you. Only to you. And the moment you truly accept that, everything begins to change. Because here is a truth most people spend their whole lives avoiding. Your life does not change when someone notices you. Your life does not change when someone believes in you. Your life does not change when the right opportunity falls into your lap. Your life changes when you change. Your life changes when you decide to stop waiting and start working. Your life changes when you take full ownership of everything in it. That is where the power is. Not outside of you, inside of you. Think about how many people are waiting right now. Waiting for support, waiting for encouragement, waiting for someone to see their potential, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the perfect conditions. And while they wait, the days pass, the weeks pass, the months pass, the years pass, and the dream stays exactly where it started. Not because it was impossible, but because they were waiting for someone else to make it happen. That is not going to be you. Not anymore. You cannot change the circumstances. You cannot change the people around you. You cannot change what has already happened. But you can change yourself. And that is where real power begins. Not in blaming, not in complaining, not in explaining why things are hard, but in ownership. Total, complete, unshakable ownership of your life and everything in it. The moment you stop looking outside for the answer and start looking within, everything shifts. Now understand something important. Working harder does not mean you will never receive help. You may find mentors. You may find people who believe in you along the way. You may find opportunities that open doors. But none of those things can replace your effort. None of those things can do the work for you. Because nobody can read the books for you. Nobody can build the discipline for you. Nobody can develop the habits for you. Nobody can become successful for you. You must do the work. And that is not bad news. That is the most powerful news you will ever hear. Because if nobody is coming, then you stop waiting. You stop making excuses. You stop depending on circumstances to change before you change. And you start acting. You start moving. You start becoming. Your life does not change when you learn something new. Your life changes when you do something new. Think about that carefully. Most people know what to do. They know they should wake up earlier. They know they should exercise. They know they should work on their goals. They know they should read more and scroll less. They know they should be more disciplined and less distracted. The problem is never the knowledge. The problem is the action. And that is exactly where dreams are won or lost. Because ideas alone will not change your life. Plans alone will not change your life. Good intentions alone will not change your life. Only action does. Only consistent, daily, repeated action does. Success is predictable. It is not luck and it is not magic. It is hard work and discipline. Every single person who has ever built something real understands this. They did not wait for perfect conditions. They did not wait until they felt motivated. They did not wait for someone to care. They acted. Some days they felt inspired. Some days they did not. But they moved forward anyway. That is the difference. That has always been the difference. Now ask yourself honestly, how many goals are still waiting for you? How many dreams have been delayed? Not because you lacked the talent, not because the opportunity never came, but because you delayed the action, because you told yourself tomorrow, because you said you would start when things settled down, because you waited for a version of yourself that was ready. But readiness is not something you feel. It is something you build through action. You do not become ready and then act. You act and then become ready. That is the order. Action first. Confidence follows. Clarity follows. But procrastination reverses this. It says wait until you feel better. Wait until you know more. Wait until the fear disappears. But the fear never fully disappears. The doubt never fully disappears. The uncertainty never fully disappears. So if you wait for perfect conditions, you will never begin. A year from now, your life could look completely different. Not because of one giant decision. Not because someone finally noticed you. Not because luck arrived. but because of small actions taken every single day. One extra page read, one extra hour focused, one extra step taken toward the goal. Small actions, repeated daily, compounded over time. That is how lives are built. That is how dreams become real. And here is what most people never understand about action. Action creates momentum. The hardest part is almost always just beginning. Once you start, the next step becomes easier. Then the next. Then the next. But if you keep waiting, nothing moves. Your confidence does not grow. Your skills do not improve. Your dreams stay exactly where they are. So stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. Successful people do not act because they feel good. They act because they made a decision to stay committed, a decision to stay disciplined, a decision to keep moving even when they do not feel like it, especially when they do not feel like it. That is where growth happens. In the moments when you do not feel like it and you do it anyway. Discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Read that again. Whether you feel like it or not, because your goals do not care about your mood. Your future does not care about your excuses. Your future responds only to your actions. Think about a farmer. What if he only planted seeds when he felt inspired? What if he only worked the field when he was in a good mood? There would be no harvest. Success works exactly the same way. You must do the work consistently, not emotionally, not occasionally, consistently. Every single day, whether the sun is shining or the sky is dark. And here is something that will change the way you think about motivation forever. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Most people think they need to feel motivated before they act, but successful people know they need to act before they feel motivated. Once you begin, energy increases, focus sharpens, momentum builds. The hardest part is always the first step. After that, the process becomes easier. Do not wait until you feel better. Act and you will begin to feel better. That is how confidence is built. That is how discipline is built. That is how success is built. One action at a time, one day at a time, one decision at a time. Now let us talk about excuses. Because excuses are the reason most people never get what they say they want. Every excuse sounds reasonable. It sounds valid. It sounds like a real reason. I was tired. I did not have time. The circumstances were not right. I will start tomorrow. And maybe those things are true. But here is what nobody tells you. Valid excuses produce the same result as invalid ones. They keep you stuck. They keep you small. They keep you exactly where you are while time keeps moving and opportunity keeps passing. Excuses do not destroy your life in one moment. They do it slowly, quietly, consistently. One delay, one justification, one postponed decision. And suddenly months have passed, years have passed, and nothing has changed. Not because life was unfair, but because effort was replaced with excuses. Ask yourself honestly, what have your excuses cost you? The gym you did not go to, the skill you did not learn, the business you did not start, the goal you kept delaying, not because you could not do it, but because you excused yourself out of it. And over time, excuses do not just affect your results, they become your identity. A person who excuses today will excuse tomorrow, unless they break the pattern. And breaking the pattern starts with one decision. No more excuses. Just action, just responsibility, just results. Complaints work the same way. Complaining feels like release, it feels like relief. But in reality, it is surrender. Because every complaint says this is happening to me instead of I will do something about it. You cannot control everything that happens to you. But you can always control how you respond. That is responsibility. That is maturity. That is real strength. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Think about that. You may not transform your entire life today, but you can change what you do today. One decision, one action, one commitment. That is all it ever takes to begin. Most people underestimate their own power. They believe someone else has the answer. Someone else has the advantage. Someone else has what they need. But the answer is already within them. What they need is not more help. What they need is more responsibility. Because responsibility creates power. The moment you say my future is my responsibility, everything changes. You become more focused, more disciplined, more determined. Because you stop expecting someone else to carry the weight. You carry it yourself. And yes, there will be difficult days. Days when nobody notices your effort. Days when nobody applauds your progress. Days when nobody understands your vision. Days when you feel completely alone in what you are building. Keep going anyway. Because the strongest people learn how to move forward without constant encouragement. They learn how to believe in themselves before the world believes in them. That is what separates dreamers from achievers. Dreamers wait, achievers act. Dreamers hope someone will help. Achievers start with what they have. Dreamers depend on circumstances. Achievers depend on discipline. Success is not something that happens to you. Success is something you create, and creation requires action. It requires responsibility. It requires the courage to move forward even when you feel alone. Because sometimes the greatest growth happens in solitude. When nobody is watching, when nobody is cheering, when nobody is helping. Those are the moments that build strength. Those are the moments that build character. Those are the moments that build the kind of person who cannot be stopped by anything. Now think about this deeply. You do not need giant actions every day. You need consistent actions. A few pages read, a workout completed, a task finished, a promise kept to yourself. Small actions, repeated daily. Those small actions may not seem powerful today, but over time they change everything. Because consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates results. What you do every day matters more than what you do occasionally. That is how successful people think. They do not rely on bursts of inspiration. They rely on habits. They rely on systems. They rely on showing up every single day and doing the work regardless of how they feel. And eventually those daily actions produce results that look extraordinary from the outside. But from the inside, they were just ordinary actions done consistently. Think about a tree. It does not become tall in a day. It grows slowly, quietly, consistently, day after day. And one day people admire its strength. But the strength was being built long before anyone noticed, long before anyone cared. Your life works exactly the same way. Many people quit because they do not see immediate results. They work hard for a week and stop. They stay disciplined for a month and stop. They pursue a goal seriously for a while and then give up right before the breakthrough. Why? Because they expected instant rewards. But success rewards consistency, not impatience. Every day you stay committed, you are strengthening your future self. Every day you continue, you are laying foundations that will support everything that is coming. Every day you trust the process, you are proving your discipline. And one day it will all make sense. The struggle, the silence, the days when nobody cared and you worked anyway, it will all connect. Now understand something deeply. Unstoppable people are not born, they are built. Built through repetition, built through discipline, built through daily effort and daily choices. They do what others avoid. They stay consistent when others quit. They keep going when others stop. Not because they are special, not because they are more talented, but because they made different decisions. They decided that their future was worth the sacrifice. They decided that the discomfort of discipline was better than the pain of regret. They decided that nobody cares, and they worked harder anyway. And that decision changed everything. So here is what needs to happen right now. Stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Stop looking for permission. Stop explaining your situation and start changing it. Look in the mirror. The person capable of changing your life is already there. The person capable of building your future is already there. The person capable of doing the work is already there. That person is you. Do it alone if you must. Start now even if you are not ready. Take the first step even if you cannot see the whole path. Because readiness follows action. Confidence follows action. Clarity follows action. But none of it comes before action. None of it comes while you are waiting. Your future is not created by what you intend to do. It is created by what you actually do. Every single day is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose discipline, you vote for growth. When you choose action, you vote for success. When you choose to work harder even when nobody cares, you vote for the life you know you deserve. And eventually those votes create your identity. You become the kind of person who follows through. The kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. The kind of person who gets results. Not because of one big moment, but because of thousands of small moments where you chose to work when it would have been easier to stop. So from this moment forward, make the decision. No excuses, no complaints, no waiting, no asking if someone cares. Just action, just discipline, just progress, one day at a time, one step at a time, one decision at a time. Because your life will not change when the world changes. Your life will change when you change. And that change starts with understanding the most liberating truth you will ever hear. Nobody cares. Work harder. Start now and build the life that makes all the silence worth it. Because here is what nobody talks about. The cost of not working. People talk about the cost of failure. People talk about the risk of trying. But nobody talks about the price of staying still. The price of choosing comfort over growth. The price of choosing the familiar over the possible. That price is paid slowly. So slowly that most people do not even notice they are paying it. It is paid in the quiet regret you feel when you see someone else achieve what you always said you wanted. It is paid in the restlessness you feel at night when you know deep down that you gave less than your best. It is paid in the version of yourself you never became because you kept waiting for the right time. That cost is real, and it compounds just like everything else. Every day you do not work is a day your future self cannot get back. Every excuse you make today is a wall your future self has to climb over. Every time you choose comfort now, your future self pays the price later. And that future self did not make those choices. You did, right now, today, in this moment. So choose carefully, because the most important thing you will ever understand is this. You are not just making decisions for today. You are making decisions for every version of yourself that comes after this moment. And that future self deserves your best effort. That future self deserves your discipline. That future self deserves the life that is built when you decide today that nobody cares and you work harder anyway. Do not wait for someone to care. Work so hard that your results speak for themselves. Work so consistently that your habits become unbreakable. Work so deeply that discipline becomes identity. Work so long that one day you look back and realize the work itself was the reward. Because the work changed you. It made you stronger. It made you more capable. Start now. Do the work. Nobody cares. Work harder. Go now.